Your credit score is about to drop and it's actually not your fault. I know this is gonna shock you, but it's actually gonna be Trump's fault because under his new 2025 rollback plan, several of the consumer protection laws that keep your credit safe are being gutted behind closed doors. If you thought 2008 was bad, wait until you see what's about to happen to your credit reports, your interest rates, and your ability to even get a loan. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how Trump's new policies could tank your credit score, what you can do to protect yourself right now, and how the rich are already preparing for this collapse. There are going to be 6 very important steps in this video that you do not want to miss to protect your credit score and your money. But before we jump in, let's take a look at some people that are saying they're already being affected by this.
Just paid off my car. Credit score is down 48 points.
Sheesh.
Love this entire fucking normal, not broken system we base our entire lives off of. Don't you? Yeah.
Don't worry, we got more.
The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. You know, the stock market continues to grow, so the ultra wealthy with all of their investments continue to get more wealthy. But the average people like you and me, we are struggling, and we are struggling worse than ever. And FICO just released that credit scores are dropping at the fastest rate since the Great Recession in 2009. Gen Z has taken the hardest hit with their credit scores falling over 50 points in the past year. Credit scores are bullshit anyways, but we all know that lenders, banks, credit cards, everybody relies on that number. Even landlords deciding whether or not to give you an apartment rely on that number to decide your worthiness. And a record number of Americans are racking up credit card debt on groceries and utility expenses. The financial outlook for the average American is bleak, and unfortunately, the news is becoming too scared to actually report these things.
Bruh, there's no way in the world I worked so hard to pay off all that debt and to pay my mortgage off, and I got an alert today from Credit Karma saying that my credit score could drop 41 points.
Sheesh.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's some things that I still want out there. It is some things that I dream about still. And there's some things I should definitely get. So in the US of A, in this crazy economy, how in the world I supposed to build my credit score back up without debt? I don't think they got that system set up for it to work without debt. So I'm just going to think about it. And I'm going to ask my banker, but this is crazy. Anybody else had that happen to you? And also, have anybody actually paid off your first home and then went back and bought a second one? Because that's my plan too. Have a good one.
So let's jump into what's happening and why it matters. Let's break this down. The Trump administration has proposed rolling back key parts of the CFPB's oversight, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. This is the same agency that forced Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion to clean up errors and stop reporting fake debt. Whenever we talk about credit repair, there's always some people that come into the comments and say, just pay your debts. Like, people do not understand that there are real situations where this debt isn't even valid and it's on people's credit reports and it's destroying their lives. This is why the CFPB was created, because the credit reporting agencies needed oversight. Because without that oversight, we go back to a Wild Wild West credit system where the credit bureaus make the rules, banks manipulate your score, and consumers get wrecked. And the worst part, you don't even know what's happening until your FICO score drops 40 to 80 points out of nowhere. Let's jump into step number 1, the CFPB rollback. Step 1 is the credit collapse, is what I'm going to call it, because that's the CFPB rollback. Trump's 2025 plan allows banks to self-regulate their reporting disputes. Let's repeat that. Self-regulate their reporting disputes. Translation, if you dispute an error, the same bank gets to decide if they'll delete it. No more independent enforcement, no more mandatory correction deadlines, and no more fines for accidental errors. And that means millions of Americans could be stuck with false collections, fake late payments, and duplicate accounts. If you think that's exaggeration, it's not. It's the same thing that happened before 2010, when the credit bureaus were reporting millions of fake debts from payday lenders. Yeah, you guys thought I forgot about that, didn't you? But that's only step one. The next change is even more dangerous because it directly affects your ability to borrow money at all. Now let's jump into step number 2, the bank deregulation and lending freeze. Now, Trump's economic advisors are pushing bank deregulation under the slogan financial freedom. Of course, it sounds great, doesn't it? Right? Until you realize that banks can now tighten lending criteria anytime markets dip. And guess who gets denied? People with credit scores under 740. Did you hear what I just said? Under 740. We're not talking about under 600, under 500, under 740. That's right, if your credit is good but not perfect, you could be locked out of car loans, credit cards, and mortgages even if you never missed a payment. Why? Because banks want to protect themselves against risk, and with fewer government checks, they can legally cherry pick only the top tier borrowers. I want to give a special shout out to all my beasters out there that are working hard to fix their credit using DisputeBeast, the most advanced AI credit repair software ever created that comes with the 110% money back guarantee. But specifically to Brandon, Brandon's credit score went up 185 points after just one round with DisputeBeast. And Ashley's credit score went up 218 points after just 2 rounds with DisputeBeast. But let's not forget about Julio. Julio's credit score went up 266 points after just 1 round with DisputeBeast. DisputeBeast's link is going to be pinned at the very top of the comments and in the video description for anyone that needs to fix their credit. Step 3 is the alternative data trap. Trump's FTC just gave the green light to alternative credit data systems, which means your rent payments, subscriptions, even late phone bills can now affect your credit. Yeah, you heard it, your phone bill now. Everyone's pretty much cooked, right? At first, of course that sounds great. I can build credit with my Netflix bill. But here's the catch. It's optional for lenders, not for you. So if you're late, they can hurt you. If you're early, it might not help you at all. Big tech companies are now selling your payment data to lenders, and they don't need your consent anymore. This means millions of Americans could start losing points without even realizing why. And while most people are panicking, the rich are using step 4 to make money from this chaos. Moving on to step number 4, we're gonna talk about how the rich are profiting. The rich never panic, they pivot. They know credit tightening means more demand for private lending, secured cards, and high interest products. So they're investing in fintechs, funding lenders, and offering alternative loan methods. Meanwhile, the average person's score drops 60 points and they're paying 29% interest while billionaires collect the payments. This is why this video matters, because if you understand the playbook, you can flip the game. And the next step is exactly how you protect yourself. Step 5 is where you take back control before your score collapses. Moving on to step number 5, protect yourself now. Here's what you need to do today. Number 1, pull your real FICO scores, not Credit Karma. Credit Karma uses Vantage scores, and lenders don't care about that because more than 90% of lenders use a FICO score of some sort. Number 2, the most underrated thing ever, freeze your credit with all 3 bureaus. That blocks unauthorized inquiries and data sharing. Now, if you're working on your credit, you can still freeze your credit and still work on it, so don't worry. Always keep your credit frozen, because why keep it open? You don't walk around in your underwear all day. That's the same thing as leaving your credit files open for anybody to access them. Number 3, dispute every negative item using your consumer rights under the FCRA and CFPB guidelines while they still exist. We still have the CFPB open with only 200 employees versus 1,200. So understand that, but they are still open, thankfully. Number 4, get rid of credit utilization above 10%. This will matter more than ever because scoring models change and you want to have your credit profile prepped at the lowest utilization possible. Number 5, open a secured trade line if you're rebuilding, but make sure it reports to all 3 credit bureaus. Now, when I say secured trade line, I'm referring to, as an example, a secured loan with your credit union or your bank, not a secured credit card, but a secured personal loan. Like Navy Federal, as an example, they call it the pledge loan, and others will call it a CD, or they'll just call it a credit builder loan that you get directly from a bank, not Self. Understand that. Self is trash because it charges you a bunch of fees. Now, another one that's great that is very low cost is Kovo. It's going to be in the video description for anyone that needs it. I believe it's like $10 a month, and that's it. There's no other hidden fees. But the final step might be the most important of all, and it's the one that nobody's talking about. Last part's the most important. Moving on to step number 6, build political and financial armor. Because if the government can change your credit laws overnight, they can change anything. That's why you need to be financially independent of banks. Start building business credit. Store your savings in accounts that aren't tied to one bank and make sure you can access your cash in an emergency. The Trump administration is protecting banks, not borrowers. And when the credit collapse hits, you'll either be one of the victims or one that prepared. So here's your move. Do this before 2026 or your financial life could change forever. Listen, you can't wait for politicians to fix your credit. You have to protect yourself now. Download my 2025 to 2026 financial survival checklist. It's completely free and walks you step by step through locking down your credit, protecting your data, and rebuilding fast before the system changes. Make sure to comment the word protect and I'll send you the link instantly, because when this credit crash hits, those who prepared will rise and those who didn't won't even qualify for a phone plan. Now, if you have any collections, charge-offs, or negative items that you need to delete from your credit reports, make sure to watch this video right here, because it's going to show you how AI will do all the work for you, mail your letters, and it comes with a 110% money back guarantee. And if you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.